Hello, this is Frank Skinner, and yes, you're listening to the best bits of 2016.
The best of Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I'm not sure about Dame Judi Dench getting the tattoo in Latin, though, because I don't think it's like... I don't know why it's
I call it a latu.
Oh, latu. Nice. Well, I don't know why it becomes more wise, because it's in a language that she doesn't really use.
Exactly.
Like,
a dead language.
She's old enough. That's probably her native tongue.
That and Esperanto. That's how old she is,
She
Frank.
talks Latin at home.
Well,
if I got a bit of wisdom, like, you know, you buy cheap, you buy twice.
Yeah.
If I got that translated into Cornish, a language that I don't speak but exists, and then tattooed on my back, would that make it wise?
Well, you should have it in Glaswegian. That's your
like it.
I do speak. I do know that.
It would make it a bit cooler than you having, if you buy cheap, you buy twice. Especially as it's the very opposite of your worldview.
It is not.
Okay.
I like that sort of thing Duncan Bannatyne would have tattooed.
If I was
bog
80...
off. He'd have bog off.
If I was 81 and I had a tattoo, I think it would be my name and address. Sort of an aide de memoire.
Nice.
You know, she said it was a gift from her daughter Finty.
Yeah, how do you,
and she said she's wonderful with surprises.
Was she suddenly... She
can't be a surprise.
Did she get home one night, was suddenly wrestled to the ground by two blokes who got tattooed? like how you do...
Mobile tattoos.
Like how they do sheep.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's one of my fantasies.
But
and also...
depends on the tattoo.
If it is a surprise...
It's just a number. Then I don't want it.
If it is a surprise, does the daughter choose Carpe Diem and where it is? Like, did she pick the wrist? Like,
I think Finty's a strong character.
Finty, yeah.
Right.
I don't think it could have been... She couldn't have a facial tattoo, Dame Judi Dench.
I mean, I can't pick a tattoo for my mum,
She couldn't
can
have I knew a bloke who had death to all skinheads on his forehead.
Right.
That would lose her a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh, skinhead escapes.
Was that a gift from his son?
It was something he was he ended up looking after donkeys in a home for a children's home.
I'd have no Tonto Nomo Sharif on my forehead.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the joys...
I just saw Michael Gove on the telly. I've never for years had the urge to do a dead leg. More. I felt the knee going.
I'm sorry you were bullied. Stop taking it out on us. You weren't in the cool team. It's not our fault.
I suppose if you're 81 and you have Carpe Diem on your arm, you're sort of reminding yourself that, you know, there aren't that many days left and to live them all to the full. I consider that.
I like it.
Yeah.
There was a famous Eastern potentate.
Love that word, Frank.
Yes. A leader. And he had a
That's
bloke...
for anyone with a pink iPad out
for
there.
the groundlings listening.
the pink iPad brigade.
Very good use of groundlings by Alan Mouse.
And he used to have a man who was paid that every day he would go up to him and say, "One day you will die." That was his job.
Charming.
Yeah.
Not a bad gig, though, is it? I mean,
No.
it's easy enough.
No.
Fit in some of your own hobbies around that work, couldn't you?
But that was his job, and it just helped him to remember mortality and not to get ideas to, you know. I don't know if you can get ideas above your station if your station is potentate. But anyway, can you imagine when someone comes up to you and says, you know the bloke that says, the day you will die, it's his birthday, do you want to sign a card? Well, I don't know what to put on it. What do you put on it to him? Well, we've already got cheer up 4 times. Can you come up with something different? I don't know. I don't even know him. Anyway.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
I'll tell you what I had this week, which is...
Tom.
You ever had this? I mean, it might... I know when comedians say, just me then, that means the joke has just gone down the toilet, but... Do you ever have that thing when you're walking along and you've had a drink and it's just splashing about inside you? Like, You're not
Oh, yes, I know that.
Like, you're not a complicated mammal at all. You're just like a receptacle. I had that this week, and I thought, why has this happened? I could just hear so walked along, like being a bottle of something.
You just hit. I know the audible sloshing.
Yeah, what is that?
I've had it many. Do you get it, Alan?
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah.
But why does it doesn't happen very often? Usually it goes down into it goes down into the internal.
Well, let's not say where it
workings.
goes down into.
Well, no, but it's it's subsumed.
It goes
quite-
down into the not without an engagement ring areas.
Yeah, it does. But eventually, but what I mean is, when you swallow it, it goes somewhere quiet quite quickly.
Oh,
it?
yeah.
It goes into a padded area of some kind.
I think of it as a business lounge.
Yeah, but why?
At the
But
airport.
what about the just splashing about like it hasn't gone anywhere?
Been denied entry to the quiet part.
Well, I wonder. I think if I left the plug in or something.
It always sounds a bit, I don't know, other cordials are available, Frank, obviously, but I always imagine it as being a bit Robinson's cordial.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what it's
No,
about.
what have I been drinking? I mean, I do drink a lot of barley water, but I think I've just been drinking water.
Really?
No,
you
I'm not.
got a slosh from
It's
water.
a weird boast from you that you do drink a lot of barley water.
I
There's
do.
people tuning in going, legend!
Yeah, but it's not like I'd done a sort of Irish coffee type drinking to try and make it sit on the surface in any way. But I could walk it. This is what I could hear as I walk down the street. No, I shouldn't be making that. I'm a human being, for God's sake.
You are. I mean, that's what I've always categorised you as.
All right, Frank. Yeah, fine. What's that noise? Oh, it's me. If there's anyone who knows the way around the human anatomy listening,
we might get some
not
nice-
you, mate.
One of those guys
Not you.
in this show.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
I've been on holiday this last week.
Oh,
I
how
had
was
a
that?
staycation, as they call it.
Oh,
Did you have a steak?
it's all gone a bit Brexit Britain.
I didn't have a steak. I was in the New Forest.
Oh, I love it round there. Do you know
Nice.
why? It's Horse City.
There's horses just in
They
the
roam.
They do. They roam wild. They're
Horses, do?
yeah, they're everywhere.
Really?
Well, I think they're ponies officially.
Yeah.
They're big
they?
ponies, I'll tell you that.
Huh?
They do some big ponies. Anyway, there was... we decided to have a
So
bit
it's
of
you, Kath and Buzz.
Yeah, so we decided to have an outing. So we set off for the New Forest Reptile Centre.
Oh,
Do you know it?
It's a lovely place to go on a heat wave. Lovely
Yeah.
smells.
Well, they're used to it, of course, the reptiles.
Yeah.
They lap it up.
Love it.
So, it's 2.2 miles, it said on the sat-nav.
Right.
So I thought it was nice. And 90 minutes later,
No.
I was still searching for it.
Oh, dear.
I'd tried absolutely everything you could think of, putting different things in. There was a place called Emery Down, which is nearby. I put that in, just in case there was a sign. Emery Down, of course, reminded me when I was in the army with Dick Emery.
Oh, yeah.
We went on that, he got shot.
Yeah.
That was a terrible, somebody shouted.
Terrible lie.
Emery Down.
Oh, you are awful.
Yeah.
Is that what you said to him?
Well, the funny thing,
Those his
I
final
did say it,
words.
but I'll be
Being
honest
a
with you,
soldier.
I didn't like him that much. You are awful, and consequently, I care very little for you. No, but I couldn't. I mean, I drove around and around and around looking for this place, and I had the postcode and.
So what was
everything.
it called?
It was called the New
Emery.
Forest Reptile Centre.
And it's not listed on the sat-nav.
I'm starting to think maybe the chameleons are having too much influence
Oh, yeah. That'll
on
be it.
that place.
That'll be it.
Unfindable. But it's so frustrating because, you know, you get to that, I'm not going to give up on this. It exists. I've got adverts for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
exist.
Absolutely.
Did you find it ever?
No.
Really? You just gave up, though.
No, I got 90 minutes, and in the end, like, Boz
Why
was
didn't you
getting-
call it? Why didn't you go back to the
I
hotel?
was car sick. 2.2 miles.
You've driven about 70.
We asked people, you know, local type people,
Uh-huh.
you know, in smocks.
None of
Saying
them,
that in a
none
legal
of them helped
gentleman
you.
manner.
Yeah, well, and they were saying, no, I don't.
The hotel could have helped.
How old was the leaflet that you were looking at?
I know we
to-
went online as well.
Ah.
And it was talking about events that were happening there in recent times. I tell you what I was thinking. Do you know what a trap street is?
A trap street.
I was thinking it could be the landmark sort of equivalent. A trap street is, I only know this from Doctor Who, but I'll tell you as if I know it from general knowledge. People who do street maps are very wary of doing all the hard work and then having it copied by someone else who puts them in. So they invent streets and stick them in there so that if the other person puts them in their thing, they can prove that they've copied it.
That is good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's clever little cartographers.
So I'm wondering if this was a trap reptile centre
Yeah.
that had been invented to so people
All sounds a bit Pokemon Go now to me.
Yeah.
it could
Well, you
be.
catch some great beauties there.
Dear.
Anyone, look, if anyone has ever been to the New Forest Reptile Centre and can establish that it exists,
It's gone very regional radio. What out
I
there?
would love.
Here's Tony Braxton.
I think the Reptile Centre needs to be monitored.
Oh.
Needs to be monitored.
Yeah, monitored,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
understand.
come on!
I think I struggled with this last time you did a monitor-based joke.
He loves a monitor-based joke.
You
Only
suggest-
person in the world who
Are you
does.
suggesting I'm recycling? Outrageous.
Absolute Radio.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Frank, you were talking about how you think they might be quite active in the Olympic
I
Village.
think- I think
They
they live it
love
up.
the night time.
Yeah, they love it up. They live it up and love it up.
Well,
Damn you, Freud.
I was just telling you off air, I was recalling when I went over to the Olympics in Athens,
Oh, yes.
not as a competitor,
No.
but I did go over there and I saw a couple of nights running. I'd see the wrestlers who I'd seen during the day, or the weightlifters who are my favourites. They do actually do that. They were going around the bars of Athens in their swimming costume things they wear, the tankini swimming costume.
Just wearing that?
No, they had a tracksuit over it,
Yeah.
and the medals going to girls, because it's the ultimate pulling
It's a bit like
technique.
that person who texted in and said, I always suggest swimming as a second date, so
Yes.
I'll have a look to whether it's worth persevering.
I mean,
Or
they're
not.
basically saying, look, I've got the medal,
Channel
are you
4,
in?
Channel 4 have picked up that idea and run with it.
Extraordinary,
I know
actually.
that is amazing, walking around with your medal on.
Walked around with his medal on.
Which
But,
is kind
there's
of a
an honest- sorry,
1970s
Steve.
look revived.
But also, Steve, I felt there was an honesty, in a sense, to the transaction.
Well,
it's a
it
bit like
saves-
saying, I'm on telly,
Let's
I'm
face it.
hideous, but I'm on telly.
It's like my Frank Skinner name badge at the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is, it's because
Yeah.
you're going to bring up the gold medal, so you
Yeah.
might as well
course.
just wear
Was there-
it.
Just
there
get
any-
it out there.
Was there any bronze on display? The silver and bronze, would they?
No, I think he was silver. He might have had 2, but we saw him talk to at least 3 women. He was doing very well with that
If
medal.
you meet someone in a bar, it's good to know that they've medalled.
It's like just if you ugly men just carry around a printout of your bank statement.
Yes. Well, I've got a T-shirt. In fact, now I'm going to add my IMDb. What's the initial?
IMDb.
Yes, I'm going to add that.
Do you know you've got several entries?
Yes, well, not for years. I on the shower curtain.
So I'm
front-
still dealing with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I stayed at a B&B in Southend with an ex-girlfriend.
Aw.
And, well, I wasn't with an ex-girlfriend, she was my current girlfriend at the time. And this woman was called, perhaps I shouldn't name her, but anyway, we checked
Oh,
in.
why not?
Casey's still alive.
Okay.
And I remember the shower curtain there had got, I would say it had the human hair of at least 10 people on it. I suggested that you could actually peel away the shower curtain and there would be a human hair shower curtain that was sturdy enough to operate on its own. It was incredible. And that woman, she checked in, me and this woman, and she's very nice, welcome, and thanks very much, and I hope you have a nice time in Southend. Took us up to the room and stuff like that, went away. And I'll be honest, we were on the bed canoodling. 10 10 minutes
Sounds
later...
like some Confessions of a Comedian film.
10 minutes later, suddenly the door burst open. And it was this same woman with two people with suitcases, and she went, "Who on earth are you?" She checked us in. She checked us in 10 minutes earlier to that room. And my girlfriend...
Can I say I love the use of on earth?
I know. And my girlfriend was so terrified by this madness that when we got back from... I was doing a gig there. When we got back, I had to look under the bed and in the wardrobe to prove that this woman wasn't... And we had to put a chair by the door, Alan Cochrane style, to make sure she didn't burst in again in the middle of the night.
That's terrifying.
It was
It's a good thing they didn't find, like, you weren't experimenting with the human hair shower curtain.
But even had she
We weren't
not...
experimenting with anything, let me make that clear. No.
Even had she not checked you in 10 minutes earlier, it seems a very extreme reaction if you run a hotel and you see human beings in your room to say, "Who on earth are you?"
No, but it's 10 minutes earlier. I mean, it wasn't as embarrassing as it could have been. As I said when I took those two monkeys to the taxidermist, holding hands, not mounted.
The best of Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Speaking of age, what about this? I had the other
Don't
night.
you put the fear of God into me when you say things like that.
I had a bowl of blackberries the other night. Sitting watching the Olympics.
Very
I thought,
underrated,
you know
the
what?
blackberry.
They are very underrated because in a way, you know, I'm still not totally sure the blackcurrant. The blackberry is the one with multiple orbs.
The blackberry, I'm going a darker, harder raspberry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good summary.
I enjoyed your pronunciation of blackberry, because it made me want to go bam-a-lamb.
Yeah.
Oh, blackberry?
Yeah.
Bam-a-lamb.
Ah, blackberry. Anyway, so I had what I like is a bowl of is fruit with a bit of yoghurt on top. That's how I live my life.
Natural.
Well, we got a few fruit yoghurts, and it occurred to me that we got blackberry yoghurt. And I thought, well, now, is this a good thing or a bad thing, blackberry yoghurt on blackberries? And I said to Kath, can I ask your advice?
Advice? You actually needed advice on it.
And she said, what? And I said, because we've been together a long time, I said, what do you think about blackberry yoghurt on blackberries? And she said, I don't know. And I said, is it? And then I said one of the oldest person things I think I've ever said. Do you think it's a bit too much of a muchness? I'd even forgotten that anyone had ever said that, and it just came out naturally out of me. Is it too much of a muchness? I mean, a younger man would have opted for overkill, presumably. But,
He would have said, "Oh, is it going to harsh my mellow?" Or something like that.
Have I created a yoghurt tautology?
yeah, but I was so natural to me. Too much of a muchness. That's what's wrong with this show.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
We went to the M&M's shop. You ever been there?
It's not themed around the
Not M&M,
popular
as in-
hip-hop star.
No, it's
M&M.
not him.
No, it's the sweets, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I say shop. I'd say it's a superstore. Wouldn't be an exaggeration.
I
I'm
say
gonna
it's a
be honest,
world.
it's
M&M's world, I think it is.
Always puzzled me that having that prime bit of real estate.
I want to say to people outside
it smells
London,
sweet.
this is in like Leicester Square, absolute prime spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Well,
I've
it's
always,
all
I've
over the
always found
world.
it a bit. I mean, it's not literally low rent,
Well,
but it is a
a
bit low rent.
It's a bit Paul Raymond.
I mean, Leicester Square
God
in
rest his
general.
soul.
But I don't know, if I was the person who'd invented Smarties, I'd stand outside the M&M shop and think, where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
Why are M&M's got their own shop and Smarties barely got their own tube?
I don't even think it's the best one for the shop.
But which were first? Were Smarties first?
Yeah.
There ought to be a court case. Surely someone's noticed they are quite similar
Case.
in their nature.
Have M&M's got anything in them, or are they just like chocolate?
Yeah,
They're just
chocolate.
chocolate discs.
You can get
Chocolate
peanut.
disc covered in that, whatever that's... you
So
know,
they're
that
not
sort of
all
enamel.
peanut. They're
With
not-
with the M on them, and you can get peanut M&Ms, Al.
Yeah, that's the ones that I'm aware of.
No,
the
but it's
peanut
basically...
ones.
It's chocolate that's been enamelled
Right,
That's the
yeah,
general
yeah.
sense of it. But Smarties, I cannot... They're the same sweet.
I
Very
prefer
similar.
Smarties, personally.
One's got a big
Me too.
shop.
Yeah.
Are the Smartie people just...
That might be the problem.
Are they
What?
getting on with the job rather than going...
What,
"Let's
making the
show
sweets?
off."
No, I think one of the problems is the M&M's
It's
have
a
got...
show-off shop,
Right,
isn't
Alan's
it?
just accused them of being show-offs, the people who make M&M's.
It's like a big show-off shop, isn't it? It's like, yeah, we're doing that well. We've got
Have you been
this
in there?
corner of
Because
Leicester Square.
it was extraordinary, wasn't it?
But you can't imagine a Bounty superstore.
No, I don't understand. I
Well,
can't
I'll
imagine
tell
any
you what I'd
confectionery.
like.
Double-decker.
Come on, flake, all twigs and gnarled old branches.
nice.
Yeah.
Like,
That
like a
sounds
forest
good.
of flakes.
They could have, like, they could be served, like, by, like, stick insects serving
sounds
behind
all right.
there.
Well, no, the 70s lady in the floppy hat. Oh, come on.
Couldn't get away with that now. No, but
He's having a moment.
I'm having a moment.
I think part of it is because there's a figure, there's a sort of a character involved with M&M's in
You're
the way that
right.
it isn't with Smarties.
Is the character essentially two arms with white gloves? I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that's a character.
And an
They've
M&M.
taken
Shove a couple of
they've
gloves.
taken the sweet and given it life.
Well.
Smarties, they're just just get them out there.
They've sort of merged the M&M and Mr. Potato Head, haven't they? That's really what they've
There's
done.
no like Smartie Pants, the Smarties man, that I know of. I know everyone does this phone in, but you know sometimes. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Why do they get a shop and Smarties don't? It's a scandal.
And then we've had a review of M&M World. A lot of other people have found themselves wandering in there. Ali says M&M World works. No
It
idea
works.
why, but I've been sucked in. £100 worth of cushions.
Wow! But I didn't think people went there to do their soft furnishing.
Well, in fairness, Ali, I don't think most people do.
Who thinks, you know what, I've just bought this new place, I'm going to the M&M shop to...
Get a coffee table. not heels.
it would just
someone-
be a big M&M with 4 little sticks on the bottom of it.
I like the idea of someone making a Pinterest board based on, I've got some ideas. I'll get a mood board together for the interior designers. Mainly yellow and a bit of brown.
But once you've got your giant M&M coffee table, and people say, there you go, there's your coffee. Oh, don't put it on the slope. Go central. If you're going to go slope, it needs to have a bit of stickiness to it. You're all right with a lemon drizzle, bit of lemon drizzle on the side, but the hot stuff needs to go at the apex of the curvature.
Oh, Frank, what about when I gave Buzz £1? He put it in the machine. This is a great thing that happens at M&M World.
Oh, yeah?
I gave him £1.
Is it called World? Has someone
Yeah.
added that?
No, it is called World.
So it's like it's supposed to be a theme park.
Yes. I gave Buzz £1, and there's a great game at M&M World where you give a child £1, they put it in the machine, they get a penny back.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's all gone a bit Brexit
And
in
also
there.
a squashed penny that you can't...
Yeah.
It's one of those when it
Oh.
stamps it into a
I
shape.
I mean, Buzz was happy.
I couldn't see what on earth it was. It was some sort of vintage car. I'm assuming
I know.
it had 2 M&Ms driving it.
Yeah.
Well, I was desperately searching for a reference point in there, and so I found fashion, which always anchors me. And I saw a little baseball cap, which I tried on. M&M World...
But that actually looked all right.
That would be great. If you started to wear an M&M baseball cap, that would be a turn up for the books.
It looked much better than the jacket I tried on with the coconut mushroom epaulets.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
I went to the circus
Did you?
this week, and what do you think about this? I was applauding, and my partner, Kath, who was obviously sitting next to me, said, can you sort of clap with your fingers a bit more? It's hurting my ears.
What were you using to clap in the first place?
Well, I was clapping like
Slapping
this.
your thighs
I was
together.
clapping like this.
That's a proper clap.
And she said, the
that's a
trouble
good
is,
clap.
she said that, it's got a sort of a crack to it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you clap like that, it's a bit more trebly.
That's not going to reach the performer, is
No,
it?
I said that. I said I'm not clapping. She said it's actually hurting my ears. And I found myself having to slightly. This is what happens.
Move
when-
around the hand to see where
Yeah.
there was a nice
Feather the
compromise.
If ever you want to consider the power balance in our relationship, just imagine that moment when I switched to just clapping almost with my fingers. Oh,
You
dear.
don't want to make clowns angry at the moment. You
No,
want to give them a full
it's there.
applaud. There's a lot of scary clowns running around.
There are a lot of scary
Yeah.
clowns. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that at all.
No.
But
I don't think we
these-
should imply that they're from a circus, though. I think
No.
these are just like
I
civilian
don't-
clowns, aren't
this
they?
clown, Mr. Lorenzo, he was a bit saucy, a bit too saucy at times.
Was he?
Although he was funny in his other work, but there was certainly a section from the 1970s where I thought,
Oh, really?
and Kat said to me, I don't really want our son to learn these sort of attitudes. I thought, it's a circus. Relax. Oh, oppressed.
We've had a suggestion for you. Use motorcycle jeans for the knee pad issue, Frank. Look good on a Friday night, too.
Motorcycle jeans?
Yeah.
Are they leather jeans?
Well-
can you get leather jeans? Do you have
Well,
to
they're
be
leather trousers.
Do you have to be denim to be a jean?
There has to
I
be
think-
denim to be a jean, I
I think the biker community would call leathers motorcycle jeans, but you can also get them in like a denim, so they look
With,
like...
with those pads?
Where they've got knee... I personally wouldn't use those, because I think they're quite a hard knee covering for if you have an off, as they say.
Can you...
I think you'd want a softer... I would suggest volleyball pads, you know, knee pads, but under your trousers. Would you put them straight to the leg?
volleyball pads? I didn't know
That would
such a
just
thing
make you look like you
existed.
had massive knees.
Yeah,
Like
and also
massive
about
I'm not
appearance.
wearing
It's not worried
those
about his
arthritic
appearance.
knees.
I'm not
under
wearing those massively tight hot pants with my name on the back like
You're
they,
not?
they tend to wear on the volleyball people.
Oh, okay. If that's the rule, then that's the rule. I didn't realise that.
Can you buy medieval armour as separates?
Good question.
Could I just buy the trousers? Any
Separates.
armourers listening, and we get up people from all walks of life listening
we
to
do.
this. Can I get a pair of medieval armoury style trousers and not have to bother with the top? Because I can't think of any reason for them in the garden.
Do you know the weirdest place I've ever seen a suit of armour for sale? It really took me by surprise. It was a shop. It was a shop in a mall in Anchorage, Alaska. And they were selling replica medieval stuff from Europe. And one of the pieces they were selling was a full set of armour, metal armour.
They have an interest in that, don't they? And I based this on, I do a show on BBC iPlayer, and celebrities choose shows they like, and we talk about it. And Sally Phillips, the famous comedy actress, chose a documentary about full contact medieval fighting for women.
Oh, yeah.
And the Americans were the best at it.
They love it. They love a bit
And
of
also, there's that bit in Cable Guy when they go to like a medieval jousting tournament. Do you remember that?
Yeah. But the thing is with the armour, what I thought was, in Alaska, it's quite cold. And
It
you've got to
is.
be very careful with skin contact on metal.
Yes.
You could
Good
actually
shout.
flay yourself completely.
Yeah.
In a...
I can see. I hadn't thought of that. There's never
rare
any
that
stuff
this
about
show
armour
become-
getting cold, is there?
No, this
What
show
hap-
very rarely gives a health and safety message to the Alaska community.
No, it does. But,
Time it
Sending
did.
it out there.
but anyway, can I get armour trousers? I think was that what you'd call them?
Yeah, or B. What is your B? Is there anybody that wants a top that wants to go halves?
Oh, that's another one. Yeah. Someone who gets easily sunburnt, who's maybe looking just for a visor. I could put an ad in the paper for that, of course, but would that be an ad visor?
Very good.
I had to say it, and now I've said it.
That's how loud I clap.
Absolute Radio.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Oh, I had a situation.
Oh, another one. They do come up in your life, don't
Yes,
they?
I was. Now I
Just getting my bile ducts ready.
I've been going to. I was talking about this last week. I've been working in a sort of office because I'm writing at the moment. So I go into a place to do it.
Lovely.
So it's a little bit like having a proper job.
Yes.
Go into an office and there's a receptionist and there's
Do you have
there's
a
a room.
pass,
There's a
Frank?
room you can.
Do you walk in and say, "Thanks, Skinner"?
No, I say morning, and they say red room or
right.
orange room, depending on where I am that day. And it's all a bit like that. And there's things like, people bring around a bit of birthday cake.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't want it every day.
No.
Don't get me wrong.
Are there cards to sign?
Yeah, occasionally there are cars. Sometimes they think I'm too big. They don't ask me. But I'd happy to.
I'll soon put them right.
Yeah. So, anyway, there's two receptionists. They job share.
Mm-hmm.
They're both lovely, but I've been calling. In as much as I've used the name at all, I think of her anyway as Selena.
Okay.
And then I heard a driving man come into the thing. You know, the sort of...
A driver?
A driver, yeah. He brought in...
a golfer.
You know, they come in with one of those sack trucks with parcels on them.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
one of those blokes. And as he left, he said, OK, I'll see you, Celine. And then I thought, now have I been calling her by the wrong name? And she has just smiled and taken it, but inside hated me. I couldn't remember actually if I'd ever actually called it, but I think I had. So I think she must have been thinking, well, I can't correct him because he's on television.
Right.
And so all her rage and frustration had been internal.
I mean, a terrible faulty logic there, isn't there?
I know. Anyway, so I thought what I'll do, I'll ask the other receptionist.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. So on the...
A lot of presence of mind, I respect that.
Yeah, so I said, look, can I ask you something? I said, that's a bit weird, but between you and me, what is the name of the other receptionist? And she said, why did you say? I said, well, it's just, I've called her Selena, but I heard a driver called her Selena, and I wonder if I've been called the wrong name. She said, no, you were right.
Oh,
it was Selena. So I thought, well, I've come out, because I felt a bit bad exposing the fact that I had any doubt about it at all.
Yes.
But the fact that I'd got it right and the driver hadn't, I felt like a good guy. And then she said, do you know my name?
Oh.
She didn't.
I had a horrible premonition of this coming.
And...
can I just say that is bold work on her part?
Yeah.
But I felt that I did.
Oh my God!
Here we go. What did you guess?
No, I didn't guess.
I don't want to know.
I said.
What did you say?
I said yes.
Oh!
I thought she'll accept. That'll be it. That's enough, isn't it? Trust me on it.
Did you then just stride away?
That was my plan.
But why did you say that when you knew?
Because I thought if I say yes, and then she'll think, oh well, that's all right then.
He's
but
trying
you know
to
what?
face it out. He's trying to face it out.
Yeah, she didn't accept that.
How surprising!
So she said, oh, "Go on then."
I love her. She's got a harshness about her that
no, she's
I think
very
we can
nice.
all respect.
Oh, she's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
And I said,
she's great.
I know it. I said it's a sort of foreign. It's a bit foreign sounding, isn't it?
Oh my God!
She said, no, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it was foreign sound. And in the end, I just had to break down, and she told me. And then
what was the name?
It was Louise.
Oh, that's a bit French, maybe.
Well, we are pushing it.
Yeah. Well, you always push it.
And then she gave me a business card.
Did she?
But it was...
As an aide de memoire.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I like the business card.
Oh, it's a bit awkward. And I thought, I felt bad about it. I did know it, though. I did know. I did.
Fibber.
Oh, but I did know. I did. Oh.
This is the best of Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I was on the beach at Camber Sands.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt really thirsty. And I know from watching old black and white pirate films that if you drink seawater, you go mad.
Yeah, you don't
have to be tied to a mast.
No, don't have that.
And you don't want to be tied to a mast on a pirate ship because, as ever, there are opportunists. Opportunists? Yes. That's a bad sign for this morning. I've got the first big word wrong. Opportunists, I don't mind as a word, though.
Opportunist,
no, it sounds okay.
It sounds like it could be a word. It's fine, I'd go for it.
Opportunist, if you think about it, is they've took the easy way out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I So I was really thirsty, and I saw, first of all, what I thought was a beachside cafe. And you know when you get so thirsty, you think, if I don't drink, I'm going to dehydrate and then feel poorly.
Yes.
So I went over, and then I realised it's obviously not a cafe. It's someone's house. But I kept going. And the door was ajar, so I just walked into their living room.
Of a home?
Yeah, I walked into a home. Celebrity gives you a strange confidence.
Been well documented.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly has. So I went in, and there's a couple sitting there having their breakfast, or making their breakfast, and they said, hello. I said, hello. How you doing? The bloke said, is it Frank? And I said, yeah. I said, I was on the beach and I was really thirsty. I wonder if I could get a drink of water. He said, yeah. He said, do you want some, making some breakfast. Do you want some breakfast? Bacon sandwich and stuff. I said, that's very kind of you. He said, well, it's an anecdote, isn't it? So I thought, now that's good, because he's not fronted the barter system here.
Yeah.
Is that I get food and, generally like nutrition, water, and he gets a bit of a story. So I was in there about 25 minutes. We sat.
Just walked into a random person.
And Andy and Shona.
Is this a shout-out? Is this the first time you've done a shout-out on the show?
Well, it was...
Andy and Shona, thanks for the bacon sandwich. See you next time.
It was actually... I've used celebrity in the past to gain, what should we call it, naughty love. But I've never used it just for, a bit of friendship and a bacon sandwich before. And I think I'm of the age now where I realise celebrity is a versatile tool. It doesn't have to be for,
It literally opens doors.
It
into
does.
people's houses.
The door was open. Well, it wasn't ajar. It was, but it was unlocked. But yeah.
So you did open the door.
Well, it was slightly. I think it was slightly ajar to let the.
You broke
cooking
into somebody's
smoke.
house.
I didn't
Frank.
break in.
You broke into somebody's house.
I walked in. I used my celebrity skeleton key. And they were, as I say, that was the deal. I mean, it's a similar deal for all those years in hotel rooms. I think you get this, I get the anecdote. It was always the unspoken deal. But Andy up fronted it, bacon, anecdote, let's do it.
Brilliant.
So I think it was lovely, and I shall try it again. Beware. See, if I was you, anyone listening, get a chain on your door.
Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
So, Diva-ish...
Belieber, belieber.
He asked people to stop screaming during his songs, which,
He asked people in Birmingham to stop screaming. He called them obnoxious.
he told them off in Manchester. He gave them a right telling off. He said, I wanted to say something, but if you guys don't want me to, I'll just cut straight to the next song.
And they all went, hooray!
I think so, yeah.
Because even people who love Beaver with a passion, the chances of him saying anything of importance, is minuscule.
Yeah,
like even his fans who love him going, wait, next song.
If he had to do like an item,
no, but I just wanted. Can we just listen for 1 second? no, hey, next song, hey, we love you. Will you just give me a chance? Oh.
He said at one point, just try and show you love me in a different way.
Well, we've all said that.
Yeah. I hear you.
Then he told them to take a chill pill for a second.
Did he?
He said, just take a chill pill and listen to me speak.
They don't want that.
Manchester.
They really don't want that, unless he does one of those sort of Telly Savalas spoken songs.
The problem with these boy bands...
If a picture paints 1,000 words, then why can't I paint you?
I think that's what he's offering.
I think the problem is, to paraphrase something Pete Waterman, I believe, once said to a friend of mine, they get all famous doing la la la, and then they want to do what I believe Pete Waterman refers to as own stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the
And
same.
our own stuff is essentially acoustic guitar and beads they bought from Camden Market. They get a little like that.
It's like you get these comedians who start off doing all sort of dirty jokes and laddish, and next thing you know, they're on the radio talking about what books they read. And
Yeah.
stuff. I hate that.
Toulouse-Lautrec puns.
Yeah, I just hate it.
No, but you can't
Doing
object.
arts programmes on Sky.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Weird.
Be
No.
who you are.
Actually, Frank, there is a difference because you still essentially what you wanted was laughter. Okay, and that's what you're still after. He wanted the screaming. Now he's got it.
I'd
He
have
doesn't
thought
want the screaming.
The main difference is that Bieber is an imbecile. But I would say with Bieber, he's got a very kissable face.
Lovely face.
He's got abs like a Nissan Hot.
Yeah.
I think count your blessings. Don't worry about the talking. Think that keep that for your private life.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't know where they're talking.
Imagine
Bieber.
if he just stopped talking in between songs. How long do you think it would actually be before any of his fans noticed that he wasn't?
Exactly.
8 years, I reckon.
Talking. Have you ever heard anyone say, do you like Justin Bieber? I like him. I like to hear him talking. No one's ever said. His own mother has never said that.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
We were talking about Mariah Carey not giving back the $10 million engagement ring. I've never given an engagement ring or a $10 million engagement ring and then subsequently had to break off the engagement.
No.
But would that be a thing that you would expect to get back if you were the gentleman in question? Would he?
Well, what do you
think he's
think,
hashtag
Frank?
gutted?
Well, I was going out with a lady back in the day.
Yeah.
In the West Midlands, and she'd commented on the fact that we saw some earrings in a shop that she really liked. They were red hearts. She was a garish character.
Red hearts, were they?
Yeah, red heart earrings.
Very kids TV presenter.
Yeah, well, they were sort of, I don't know what you'd call them. Sort of like
Flamboyant.
glass.
Yeah.
But they looked like precious stones. But they were glass.
Heart of glass,
Right.
some might say.
Yeah, heart of glass, absolutely spot on. So I went back to the shop a couple of days later and bought these earrings for her. They were £5.
Well, what year was this? Put it in context.
This would be
1827?
87.
Okay.
1887.
1887.
1987.
Okay.
And then a couple of days later, I'm going to be straight with you, we got into bed together.
This is gross.
I'm not going any further than that. This is as bad as it gets. And she said to me, listen, I want to end the relationship. I remember the first thing I did was I got out of bed immediately and put my underpants on.
Yeah.
First thing I did.
Seems right.
I thought you won't be seeing that again, madam.
Oh, what a grave punishment that
Exactly.
would be.
Yeah, exactly. There's no halfway house here. So, I said, I can't, you know, like King Lear at the end of,
Were you wearing your pants? Because it sounds really undignified,
I had
Frank.
my pants on then. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were back on.
Were you angry?
I was hurt and upset,
course.
rejected.
That sometimes manifests itself as anger.
Yeah, it does. I wasn't really. I said to me, I'll tell you what. I thought, no, I got to rack up the guilt. I said,
Yeah.
I bought those earrings. You know those earrings? She said, I went back and she went, oh no. And I said, yeah, I did. I went and bought them. That's the kind of guy I am. She said, I'll buy them off you. How much were they? I said, 15 quid.
You didn't.
Yeah. So I got 200% profit out of those.
you?
I thought that's poor balance for a broken heart.
Frank. I think you probably felt a little spring in your step.
Well, I think he took a bit of the sting out.
10 quid profit to drown those sorrows,
Yeah, 10
isn't it?
quid in those days.
Oof.
I bought a small semi-detached in Wolverhampton.
And it was the beginning of your property portfolio.
It was, exactly.
One
Beginning
door
of the slum
closes.
landlord years.
Yeah, great oak trees from little acorns grow.
You see, I
I
think...
told her that, but she didn't believe me.
I think, as a rule, you have to return the
I don't
property.
use it as a rule. Multifaceted.
Blimey.
Yeah, what? Go on.
I mean,
you think you should return?
For example, I have exes. There's one ex who's got 3 pairs of shoes of mine.
Oh.
Now, I would say those
you would have given
shoes...
those back, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't want to ask. But, I mean, the thing I would say is I'm going street value. Bear in mind, before you write in and say, you know, I'm not a woman of the people... They're expensive because I've amassed them over the years. I didn't go out on a splurge.
It's all right.
But these shoes, I'd say combined value of all 3, £2,000. Maybe 1,800.
Hold on a minute. I have a cup of tea.
I thought they were playing a clip on YouTube from Never the Twain or another 80s sitcom.
But why would anyone keep...
Why has he kept those shoes?
Why has he kept
They
those
are
shoes?
gonna be
If you're
some of the-
listening, love, put them in the post.
They are going to be some of the best dressed stilts that have ever been seen.
I don't...
In fairness to him,
Well,
maybe
stilts
he
wearing
thinks...
Jimmy Choos.
In fairness to him, maybe he thinks it feels petty to put them in a package and send them back.
Right.
I
But you
find
know
that
what?
courier-
It's not petty. I really want
Yeah,
the shoes
yeah,
back.
I find that... I've never heard of anyone keeping the shoes before. That just seems...
No.
Does he wear a pink beret, this man? I'm just trying to work out.
Absolute Radio.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
When text first began...
What does it call it on Jeremy Cole Texties?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So when they first... When would that have been? Text?
I know
Sometime in the
exactly.
80s.
No, I'm
90s?
going
90s?
97,
Yes,
98.
Yes, that would be
They
right.
still had a
actually.
Maybe
pager in
2000,
98.
Frank.
No, this was definitely
Was it
pre-2000.
football's coming home time? Yeah.
It would be between that and 2000. And I split up with someone, and I thought, text? Of course, I've got text now. That's a good way of doing it. And I thought, well, this gives me a chance to be more... you know, inventive. So I did a whole long text on my big phone.
Yeah. On your big Roger Moore button phone.
As if she was a game show contestant. I said, and it was like, it began, well, I'll change her name to... Susie, say.
Yeah.
So I wrote, so we're going to have to say goodbye to Susie, but...
Oh, my God.
But she doesn't go away empty-handed. And then I listed the things I'd bought her during our relationship. And then I said a big L. So what about a big Ann? One more time, big Ann for Susie. And then I sent that.
Wow.
I thought it's good because I'm ending the relation. I mean, I was ending it.
Did she reply?
She didn't.
Funny that.
Yeah, rude.
Did she
I should
reply
say-
via the newspapers?
I should say it was a relationship which was, you know, was already.
On its uppers.
It was in about. It wasn't like, you know, it was out the blue.
Was communication becoming toxic? Is that the... Because
I
it sounds
think,
a bit...
It was.
Do you know, Frank,
it was
that's lovely
difficult.
the way you do that.
Oh yes, I love Toxic.
So
That's
do
one of
I.
my favourite singles of all time.
Yeah, me too. Another thing we've got in common.
Whatever happened?
I mean, you're
Where did it all go wrong?
You're not coming out of this recent diva bit that well, Frank, I'll be absolutely honest with you. Somebody said, talking of diva behaviour, I like Frank, but...
I thought there might be a bot.
Yeah.
I remember him mentioning a homeless guy asking for a bite of a burger that he was eating. I was shocked that Frank didn't just give the burger to a hungry guy. And now, the earrings. Frank!
I know, but this was when I was in Birmingham. I didn't have much money. And the homeless guy, you don't want to give... I mean, God bless them, but if you give an homeless guy a burger to have a bite of...
Yeah.
Burger gone.
Well, you know...
Yeah. I think that's his exact
So what
point.
I did is
Just give the guy the
I
burger.
broke a bit off. What about the time a homeless guy said to me, again in Birmingham, a homeless guy said to me, can I buy a cigarette off you? So I got my cigarettes out, and he got these pennies out with bits of tobacco. Gave me about 8 pence, and I took it.
You didn't.
It wasn't until after I thought, no, I should have just given
Frank,
him that.
You shouldn't have taken the
Well,
money.
it felt the whole thing, his whole tone was transaction. So I went with it.
The best of Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Oh, I know what I wanted to run by you.
Yeah.
My wife.
Is it a business plan?
It's a business plan. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I've
You've
never
run
done a
business
business plan in my life.
Imagine if you set up a business, Frank.
Even when you set up Gap.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't handle that. So I was the creative
Oh, I see.
in the Gap thing.
He was, yeah.
I had the idea for Gap, and I said, let's put it really big on the clothes. And they said, people won't want to advertise. I said, we'll see. Elton John's worst lyrical moments.
What are they? Have you got any examples?
Well, mine, as always. I know, before you texted, I know Bernie Taupin writes a lot of his stuff. But, I mean, there was song by Elton, so we're calling him Elton's worst lyrical. For me, it was...
go on.
Marilyn was found in the nude.
Oh, you don't like that?
Come on.
Well, I'm not a big fan, Frank, of
Marilyn was found in the nude.
Rolling Like Thunder under the covers, which is from, I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Rolling Like Thunder under the covers.
What was going on under the covers?
I'm not allowed to do that in our relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to go to the bathroom.
We've all had that telling off.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe that happens with Furnish and John.
They're immaculate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spotless.
So that's mine. Marilyn was found in the nude.
I'm going to have to think about it for a while. I don't know what mine
I've
is.
got loads.
Which was a little bit rude. That's what I should... If I'd have been Bernie, I'd have said... I just carried on that one. You could see that was lewd.
Okay. And the good thing is, I'm sure he won't be at all offended, because he's not a high-maintenance character.
No, he does. I think I offended him anyway. Last time I met him, he actually physically turned his back on me.
Oh, well, in
He
for
didn't.
a penny.
He did.
For a pound.
Why?
He
What
properly
happened?
physically turned his back on me. So I went over and said hello, and he literally turned round like that.
Oh,
Give you the back.
Yeah. So I just, those flabby bits underneath the armpits, I just pinched those really hard. You should have heard him squeal. It's the best note I've ever heard him strike. And then he just laughed about it, and we just laughed together.
Any Rolling Like Thunder?
Not from me, I didn't feel that relaxed.
275 would like to put forward from Elton's worst lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Surely, if I was a sculptor, but then again, no. Completely redundant from Harry.
Yeah, the next line should have been the backing vocalist saying, why bring it up? Yeah. The thing, he talks about being a bloke in a travelling show.
Not just a bloke, a man who makes potions.
Yeah. And he actually runs with that. I could be one of those blokes who makes potions in a travelling show. I mean, what's the chances of getting a job like that? 1970s, England. Impossible. Yeah. But sculptor, the people are actually... He dismissed this immediately.
Almost straight away.
His league table of possible professions is all over the place.
Yeah, he seems to think he has a strong chance with the man who makes potions in the travelling show.
Makes potion.
It makes me doubt his commitment to being a singer. Like, he's running through all these other
Well, it was early in his career. I mean, that was his first hit, so he probably wasn't sure how it
So
would
I
turn
think
out.
he needs to open his options a bit more. I mean, sculptor or man who makes potions in a travelling show. What about HR?
Yeah.
There are other options available.
I don't know if HR existed in the 70s. Also, I'd have thought...
Personnel, it was called then.
If you wear enormous spectacles, I'd have thought sculptor's going to be quite high up on the list, because you're not worried about shards like a lot of us are.
Well, he rejected optometrist. That would have been a lovely job for him.
Did he run... Was there any other options that he ran through in that song? Your song? If I was a doctor. Doctor?
No, he didn't do doctor.
Yeah, if I were a doctor. But then again, no. Oh, no. That's another one he dismissed. Does he toy with being a doctor at any point?
He doesn't say if I were a doctor.
I suppose a man who sells potions in a travelling show is a doctor.
in many ways.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a Fisher sort of bloke's going to get involved in some sort of scandal.
Is he suggesting snake oil as the potion?
I think it's that kind of thing.
All right, yeah.
Maybe it's one of those, those hair restorers.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous foresight he showed. That was when Elton had his milk hair.
His milk
What's
hair?
his milk hair?
Oh,
yeah, like milk teeth.
Like milk teeth, yeah. So you have your milk hair. He had his milk hair, and that fell out, and then he grew his grown-up hair.
Oh, yeah.
We've got another one from David in St Albans.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like they could eat me alive in a couple of weeks. That's from Just Like Noah's Ark.
Oh, I don't know that one.
No, me neither.
That would be Noah's POV.
Yeah.
Because you get the animal, you think you're doing a good turn, you get the animals, then you're out at sea and you're thinking, if they turned...
Yeah.
I suppose every captain thinks it about... he's actually just an animal-based mutiny he's toying with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm enjoying that.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Are you ready for the life-changing piece of information?
How about that for a lyric? Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Yes, I am.
Bit of dialogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Dialogue in
Get
his
someone
songwriting.
else to do that bit, don't you? Otherwise it sounds like you are going under the covers
He
again.
saved a few quid on backing singers there, if you ask me. Always got one eye on the bottom line, hasn't he?
You don't want to be talking to yourself. Are you ready for love? Yes, I am.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's a whole new world out there. Get out.
So, I wanted to talk to you about Glamour magazine. This is the US version.
Yeah.
They released that they have Women of the Year.
Oh, yes.
So they've released the list of Women of the Year, and it's quite an exciting list. They've got Gwen Stefani. You're familiar with her work.
What? How does she... I mean, God bless her, but what does she... How does she... how does she qualify as Woman of the
God
Year?
forbid
She's a
Frank
woman.
ever says that to me. If Frank ever says God bless her, I know something withering.
No, I mean,
is
I
about to
like
come.
I like her work and stuff, and she looks lovely.
She does.
Harajuku girl.
That'll do me. They're two criteria.
If I was
Like
a
her work,
man,
she looks lovely.
If I
That'll
was
do.
a man,
She's-
she'd be my type.
No, what I'm thinking is she must have something
Or a
else
woman.
going on to have won
Same.
Woman of the Year. She must have a big...
Like
does
a
she have a
campaign or
foundation?
Oh,
Quite
they've
a
always
lot.
got a
Quite a lot in my experience.
No, she is quite fond of the makeup.
Yeah, she's...
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she...
She favours the Frank on Halloween Frankenstein monster.
No,
approach.
she looks beautiful,
So do
but
I.
she looks like a beautiful woman who doesn't need to have to do.
But is she
Oh,
kind
she's
of
a
girl
star.
power? She's like a sort of a
Yes.
modern version of girl power,
Is
isn't
she?
She's-
Oh, she looks good for her age.
But how does she
My
qualify
goodness.
has she got a foundation? Has she done something
I
behind the
would
scenes?
imagine there's charitable works going on.
Right.
Bono is on it.
Yeah,
Bono.
Yes.
Woman of the
Bono.
Year.
He's one of the women of the year. This is no joke. Bono,
He's a bloke, though, isn't he?
I know, but he loves a Cuban heel.
He's a bloke, isn't he?
This
And a rose-tinted spectacle. He's a fan
You know
of.
what? It's gone a bit wrong. I mean, last year, I think it was last year, they had Caitlyn Jenner, did they? on
Yes.
it? Now that felt like a very positive statement about, about your transsexuals.
Although some people weren't so positive about that.
No,
Yeah,
they
but some people.
Yeah.
But how far down the road of conversation do you get before you reach Bono
Yeah.
as Woman of the Year?
Even Bono said he didn't deserve it.
Well, yeah, he's pushed his
Well-
neck out there a bit.
I think he was being a bit faux bashful. I'm sure I don't deserve it, but hey, I'll have it.
But
Like that.
they said we've talked about picking a man before, but it's always been vetoed. I thought, how hard is it to find some Women of the Year?
Yeah, well, I think
Oh.
some...
Yeah, but imagine, guys, when you got the call, Al. I mean, you got an award. He thought he'd get Lifetime Achievement at the
Yeah.
Grammys.
Yeah.
He thought he'd get Nobel Peace Prize. Women of the Year. Come on.
I'm worried about my calendar for next year. I subscribe every year. I get the Glamour Woman of the Year calendar.
Oh dear.
It's going to be a difficult March for me next year, isn't it? Looking at Bono every day.
What's the FHM Sexiest Women going to be like this year?
Yeah. Peter Crouch.
I have to
It's going to
say,
be the edge.
I have to say, it wouldn't break my heart to see Bieber in there.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
I'll tell you what it doesn't seem like. It doesn't seem 8 years since Barack Obama got in, and it is. Like, it's flown by, hasn't it, really?
Don't come crying to me.
Hey?
Don't come crying to me.
What are you talking about?
Well, time flies.
All right.
You get older.
I remembered when he got in, I used to have some jokes about,
You used to have some jokes.
Used to have some
Those were the
jokes.
days.
8 years back. Just the last time I had a funny thought was about 8.5 years ago. I used to do some jokes about, because people were up in arms about his name, Barack Hussein Obama. You remember all that stuff? And I
Your
read...
friend Trump wanted him to produce his birth
He did.
certificate. I
He's a
seem to recall.
birther, my friend. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
your friend.
And I read that an interesting thing about Barack Obama, I thought, that was in his late teens and 20s, he wasn't known as Barack Obama. He was known to friends and family as Barry. So I used to have some jokes about, never mind.
Was that right?
Yeah, yeah. So I used to have these jokes
different
about
times
he's
then,
given
Frank.
hope to Barry's the world over. He's the leader of three. But now they've gone from Barry to Donald. What is happening with that country?
I think that name will be popular again.
Dorky names.
I would guess that they were docky names. I would guess that was someone Irish, Barry Obama.
Yes, you would.
Hey, what if Donald starts popularising the Donald jacket, the bolero jacket, with no trousers
Oh
underneath?
no, he wouldn't dare. Just the naval top and no trousers. Oh no, it wouldn't be the first time, probably.
Yeah, you'd think.
Now, I'll tell you who's very excited about this, not just our very own
Alan
Trump
Cochrane.
apologist, Nigel Farage is so happy about this. Because he had done some good little groundwork
True, he
sweeping
did.
up.
He did.
And I think Frank on this very show referred to him as a minion, which I liked.
Yeah, because his job now is to support terrible people around the world, like the Minions. If you've never seen the Minions, that's what they do.
He said he's already...
I hope he's going to wear a sort of monocular goggle next time we see him. It would suit him down to the ground.
A little dungarees, Frank.
Oh, just one picture of him like that would be brilliant.
He's got to do it. But
Someone will
he's
be working that up for us now on Photoshop, I'm sure.
Wow, Al, he's
I hope
already
so.
got very excited. He rung into James Whale. I don't know if he used the free number or not, but they had
He rang
a
into
long...
James White. If ever there was they get on like a cross on fire.
Well, James Whale said, yeah, well, the PC lot, I hope you're listening now.
Did it?
What, big hand for the police?
And Nigel said, he said, I didn't go to the Mississippi rally to endorse Donald Trump.
I
but
didn't, to be fair.
He said, after I did my bit, which is what he's calling it,
Yeah.
he said to me, you'll be my friend for life. Well, I tell you what, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Well, let's have a multiple choice. That's not A, bad, B, good. C, happening.
Absolute Radio.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Can I say that I had exactly that shirt?
Oh,
Which
really?
shirt? You're not looking at
The
me, are
shirt that
you?
Gareth's wearing. And why I remember it is a man had my face tattooed on his chest,
He didn't.
and wearing that shirt.
Right.
Yeah. as
Well,
he
I've got a surprise for you.
and he said, "Oh yeah, there you are, just next to my ex-wife." And and someone told me that I saw this man
Yeah.
recently, and he showed them the tattoo, but he's aged quite a bit,
Oh, dear.
and I've sagged somewhat. So it's a bit like, you know, the picture of Dorian Gray, the Oscar one. It's like the tattoo of Dorian Gray. So I'm still boyish in appearance. And my tattoo has fallen into disarray.
Tad saggy.
Yeah.
That's good.
There you go. Who'd have thought? So here's the thing. This I think this will balance things out a bit.
Yes.
Gareth? This will balance... Can
Yes?
you find listening is absolutely crucial.
I'm
on
paying
this.
attention.
Yeah.
I've got my undivided attention, I promise.
I was at a charity do at the weekend.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I had put a prize into the auction, which was 4 tickets to see Room 101 recorded.
Oh.
Second prize, 8 tickets.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, don't speak too soon, because all these things were going, and then it got to it, and he said, right, we'll start, and they'd put it last as if it was going to be the big
Oh, it's the big prize.
prize of the night.
Who was the auctioneer?
I don't know his
Oh,
name.
okay. Did he have a moustache and a pocket watch and a waistcoat?
No, I think he auctioned that.
Oh, okay. They've always got a moustache.
That was, I can't remember if I don't think he had a moustache. No. Anyway, so he said, oh, we'll start for £1,000. Hey, £1,000. Anyone, come on. Come on. Come on. And then the come on.
Oh.
I don't mind come on from an auctioneer. I don't want, oh, come on. And that's the way. Anyway, it went for £1,000. There was no...
it
He did
didn't
manage
go.
to get... Somebody
For the
did.
starting prize.
But how will you watch your own show, though?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll just give them to the homeless.
So that was for 4 tickets.
But how much do they normally go for?
They're free.
Yeah, you see.
I know, but you know.
Well, I'm going down this week, and I'm sure they'll not pay in £250.
Don't feel you have to tell us that in advance. And well, you know, they get to go in the green room and there's soft cheese and free alcohol.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm very grateful to them that they bought. But a man then came up to me after, I got to tell you this, and said, to be honest, we thought we'd get a lot more than that.
Oh, no.
And I thought, this can't get any worse. I saw my entire career flash before me. And then... afterwards, I was just saying goodbye to some people, and this guy came over. He said, "Don't feel too bad about that prize." I thought, please. And this was what he said. He said, "A lot of the people here tonight, they weren't living here in the 90s, so they don't know who you are."
No! This is the best of Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I went and I played crazy golf.
Did you?
This week.
Oh.
I don't mean I played golf with Gnarls Barkley. No, that would be... I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't
like to
mind
win
doing
that in a raffle, yes, I would.
But would it be possible, do you think, to play golf
I'd bid
with,
upwards of £1,000.
If you played golf with Gnarls, wouldn't you... I mean, I don't think they're a band, aren't they? But you know, the main man, the main... Are they a band or a man?
I thought it was him.
I thought they were a band.
I thought the man was called Gnarls.
Well, let's say for the sake of this
I'll
argument.
tell you something. I don't care what his name is. He's got some head of hair.
Yeah, well, if I was with him, what am I talking? I'm sorry, I think he's a band. I don't think he's a man, I think he's a band.
No, I think he's a man.
Okay, I think he's a band, you think he's a man.
What's happened to everyone?
Oh, no.
I referred to his hair and you went crazy.
I think he's a band. Does that make me crazy?
Yeah.
Does that make me crazy? In fact, Crazy Golf...
Oh, no, he's bald.
You Googled him?
Yeah, I just looked him up.
Well, you've got him both. He's a band and he's bald. And you got him down as a hairy man. Are we just talking about the wrong bloke?
No, I think he wore a wig for the video. He made an effort.
Oh, right.
Anyway, sorry, Frank, as you were.
So, it's not that crazy.
Crazy golf?
No.
It's more like miniature, isn't it, really?
Well, I really watched...
The holes are endless. It just goes on and on.
I recently watched a documentary about Charles Manson, the 60s cult leader.
Date night.
In which he was
Nice.
was described as crazy.
Can we make the references for this show a bit weirder today?
Okay.
Oh, no.
Poor Kath.
But
Well,
can
we've
I
got a
say
special date night planned for you.
that having described him as crazy, he had nothing in common with the golf I played the other night. It was beautiful. It was well done.
Where was it?
It was in a very trendy area of London. I was one of the few people in there without a beard.
Oh, I got you.
And it was indoor Crazy Golf, which is what you need this weather, of course.
Oh, I've never heard
Was
of
there
that.
a windmill? Because that, to me...
You know what? There wasn't, and there wasn't a clown's face that you had to chip it in the mouth. No, it was a bit more... It was a bit... It had things like... There was a treadmill, and you had to get it up the lip of the treadmill. And there was a snooker... You stood on a snooker table and played one of the shots. It was well done, but not that crazy.
Sounds a bit more loopy.
Yeah.
It's like crazy paving. Is that crazy? Not really. It's irregular slabs. Irregular slabs? No, I always walk like this.
Oh.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
Yeah.
We were talking about operations, not the real ones with people, and ones with... He's got a name, hasn't he, the operation person?
Yes, he's called Sam Cavity.
Sam Cavity.
If I've got that right, I think I have. I do.
Okay.
That could be my specialist subject on Mastermind.
Was he a theatre cat at any point?
I don't know. Very good.
It's based... I mean, sorry.
Have you played it often? I mean, I played it so often. The wishbone was my particular speciality, and the breadbasket, but... There were revisions over the years, but I love it, and I think the reason I love it is it involved tweezers, and I'm good with those.
Right.
I've had experience. I think women are better at operation, because I think we're better at multitasking.
But also they spend a lot of time using tweezers to take hairs off men's lapels and then put them under microscopes. Which is very delicate work.
This is true. This is also true.
I always felt it was a bit of a rip-off operation of those fairground...
Strange things to get upset about.
You know those fairground machines, it's hard to say this on the radio, but with the wibbly-wobbly wire, and then you had to go around it
and not touch it.
It was based on that.
And when you touch
when
it...
you say rip-off, we in the Operation fan community prefer homage.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, yes, okay, it's an homage.
I'm terrible at both of those games.
Have you played that game recently, the old fairground one?
Yeah.
Still really hard.
I think about a year ago I played that game, so it depends on recent, but a man of my years, I think that's recent, yeah.
But it's still hard. It's not like something as you get older you get better at.
No. In fact, I would imagine there's a decline in ability.
I saw Abu Hamza playing it once. He was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant.
Didn't use that. Didn't use the thing, just hooked it.
Someone had a procedure recently with Absolute Radio playing in the background.
Really?
Yes.
What about if someone's been operated on now and they can hear this?
Ask what procedure they had. They had a vasectomy.
I feel this is more your area, so I'll let you say.
Long-time reader had vasectomy with Absolute Radio in the background. Oh, imagine that.
I hope it went well. I've got a name for that man?
No.
I tell you what, my mother-in-law bought some tweezers.
My
mother-in-law. I said, can I smell... Anyway, she bought some tweezers.
Were they the proper... I mean, I like my tweezers to be so sharp.
No, she bought... These are big tweezers. Sharp. And you know what? She bought them for taking... Do you know when toast gets trapped in the toaster?
It's a tongue, isn't it? You're straying into Pete Tong area.
Maybe there's an element of tongue about it.
I mean,
but it does feel like operation when you're getting the the toaster with the added little zhuzh of electrocution.
Yes,
which you don't really get with operation.
Oh, we've had a request. This is from James. As it's Christmas, can we have some more Aladdin from the Cockerel today, please? Merry Christmas, Love Reader 658.
This is a bit when Alan does mental arithmetic. I don't want to end the year on that, do I?
I mean, it's a strange request.
It is a strange
God, we've been doing 8 times tables at home. Let's have a go.
No, stop it.
No, okay, fair enough.
What's the name of that game when you have the yellow sticky on your head that I played with Elton John?
Clang! Is it called name dropping?
You have a yellow sticky with the name of a celebrity on.
Yes,
and
I know what you
don't
mean.
see it.
I don't know if it's got a name. I think I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Do You Know Who I Am?
Oh,
yeah, okay.
You reckon? I'm
That's
going to call it the game that Frank played with Elton John. That's what I'm going to call it.
I'm calling it Do You Know Who I Am?
The great thing, I think I would have been much better than I was in the villa in Nice, because
Who did Elton John have on his head?
He had, what's it? Bobby Crush.
You know what I mean?
Bobby Crush he had on his head.
That must have been a sight for sore eyes.
And I had Ian Cranky on my yellow stick. And you have to guess who you've got, because you can't read it yourself, obviously. But the distraction technique that Elton John used was being Elton John. It's really put me off the game. So I imagine he does quite well, I think. Anyway, so that's it, I think, for 2016 live. We'll be back.
Absolute Radio.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.